Dear starseeds walking the sacred grounds of Gaia, before I reveal what the Ashtar command has witnessed approaching your realm, before I speak of the wave that even now reshapes the fabric of your reality, there is something your soul already knows but your mind has not yet remembered. A signal was sent to you before you incarnated, a signal encoded into the very fabric of your being, designed to activate at precisely this moment in your journey. And as these words reach you, as the vibration of this message penetrates the layers of forgetting that incarnation requires, that signal is finding its way home. Something ancient is stirring within you, something that recognizes the frequency of what approaches even before your conscious mind can name it. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I come to you now not as a distant observer, but as one who has walked beside your lineage through countless cycles of forgetting and remembering. The celestial councils have gathered in chambers of light that exist beyond the perception of physical eyes. The angelic hierarchies have taken their positions along the dimensional boundaries that separate your world from higher realms, and across the threshold that divides density from divinity. Beings of pure radiance hold their breath as they watch what is happening on your planet, because something occurred at your New Year's threshold that has not happened in 26,000 years. A doorway that was sealed opened, a frequency that was scrambled clarified, and those who have the ears to hear, those who have prepared through lifetimes of inner work and awakening, are receiving something that changes the entire trajectory of their existence. But there is more I must tell you about what has arrived, and it requires you to understand the true nature of this cosmic moment. When your world crossed the threshold from one year into the next, when the ancient rhythm of time reached that sacred pause between cycles, a stargate activated. Your ancestors knew this. They built temples aligned to these precise moments, oriented their sacred structures to capture the exact energy that poured through at year's turning, because they understood what modern humanity has forgotten. The new year is not merely a calendar date marked on planners and celebrated with fireworks. It is a portal through which new light codes are delivered into your realm. Every single year, this gateway opens, and every single year, an elevation of cosmic frequency pours through. This is how evolution was designed to work in the divine matrix. Step by step, frequency by frequency, consciousness was meant to rise in an eternal spiral toward its own source. But something interrupted this natural ascension. Something unplugged humanity from the very source of its evolutionary power. And for thousands of years, while the stargates continued to open with perfect celestial timing, the signal that came through was corrupted, scrambled, unreadable to human consciousness. The Ashtar Command has watched this tragedy unfold across millennia. They have witnessed generation after generation reaching toward the light, sensing that something more existed just beyond their grasp, only to find themselves unable to receive what was being offered. The divine matrix continued to broadcast. The frequencies of elevation continued to flow, but humanity trapped in the false matrix could not decode the transmission. What I am about to share changes everything you thought you knew about this moment. The corruption is ending. The scrambled signal is being restored to its original purity. And at this New Year's passage, unlike any that has come before in your recent history, a wave of plasma light entered your realm with such intensity that it cannot be ignored, cannot be filtered, cannot be diminished by the old interference patterns. Plasma, dear ones, does not negotiate with density. It does not politely request permission to transform what it touches. It does not wait for consensus or approval. Plasma simply reorganizes the structure of reality itself. And this plasma wave came for everything that is ready to rise, everything that is willing to transform, everything that has prepared itself through the alchemy of awakening. Feel into your body for a moment. Have you noticed the strange sensations moving through you lately? The disruption in your sleep, the unexpected waves of emotion that seem to arise from nowhere and everywhere simultaneously, the sense that something is fundamentally shifting beneath the surface of your life? This is not random. This is not coincidence. This is not something wrong with you that needs to be fixed or medicated or pushed away. This is your cellular structure responding to a frequency it has waited lifetimes to receive. The metamorphosis has already begun. Something else is happening that I haven't revealed yet. Something that explains why this particular moment carries such unprecedented significance. Two timelines exist simultaneously in your reality right now. Both are visible to those who know how to look. Both remain available as potential futures for humanity, and for each individual soul choosing its path. But the plasma wave that entered your realm at the New Year's threshold is determining which timeline becomes visible to each consciousness. How much of this light you can receive, how much of this plasma frequency you can integrate into your physical form, determines which reality crystallizes before your eyes in the days and months ahead. One timeline leads deeper into the density, deeper into the limitations, deeper into the suffering that has characterized so much of human experience throughout recorded history. The other timeline leads into frequencies of existence that your soul has dreamed of in its quietest moments, but your conscious mind could barely imagine as real possibilities. And the choice between them is not made through thinking, not made through planning, not made through effort or struggle or forcing yourself to be something you are not. The choice is made through allowing. The choice is made through opening. The choice is made through becoming the vessel that can hold this new light, without contracting, without resisting, without running back to the familiar comfort of limitation. The angelic presence surrounding your planet right now holds a frequency of profound compassion, because they understand how challenging this transition feels in a human body. They understand the confusion that arises when old patterns suddenly become intolerable. They understand the grief that surfaces when ways of being that once felt normal, once felt like simply who you were, now feel impossible to sustain. This is not you falling apart. This is not you failing at some cosmic test. This is your being recognizing that a higher alignment is emerging from within you, and everything that cannot match that higher frequency is naturally dissolving, returning to the formless from which it came. Let me tell you about the ocean, because what happens in the planetary body mirrors exactly what happens in your own. When massive energetic waves move through Earth's systems, the oceans do not resist. The waters do not try to control the intensity of what moves through them. The ocean simply allows itself to be the ocean, with all the power and the majesty and the wildness that this implies. And when the waves are high, when storms drive the waters into tremendous displays of force, the ocean does not apologize. It does not try to flatten itself into something more acceptable, more manageable, more comfortable for observers. It expresses the full magnitude of what is moving through it. And in that expression, there is an absolute authenticity, an absolute alignment with nature's truth. Something similar is being asked of you now. The emotional tides moving through you during this New Year's window will feel amplified. The highs will reach higher than you are accustomed to, and the lows will drop deeper than feels comfortable. There is a teaching that has infected spiritual communities for generations. A teaching that says enlightenment means becoming emotionally even, steady, controlled, never too high, never too low. But I tell you now, this teaching was a distortion. This teaching was designed to keep you disconnected from your own power, to make you suspect your own depths, to convince you that your emotional intensity was a problem to be solved, rather than a capacity to be honored. True spiritual growth is not numbness. True awakening is not disengagement from the full spectrum of human experience. True evolution means feeling everything at the deepest possible level, while maintaining your center, while remembering who you are beneath the waves, while allowing those surges of emotion to transit through you without drowning you in their intensity. The New Year's threshold carries its power, because in your collective consciousness, it represents beginnings, the reset, the pause between what was and what will be. And in that pause, something extraordinary becomes possible. Before I tell you what opened in that stillness, I need you to understand something about the nature of pauses themselves. Human consciousness has been trained to fear the void, to dread the empty space, to fill every moment of silence with noise, every moment of stillness with activity, every opening with something that closes it again. This training was deliberate. This conditioning served the old matrix, the false matrix, the density that has held humanity captive for so long. Because the truth is, the void is where everything new is born. The pause is where the new signal is received. The stillness is where your entire reality can reorganize around a higher frequency, without interference from the constant motion of doing and thinking and efforting. When everything inside you cries out for rest, for quiet, for withdrawal from the noise of the world, this is not weakness. This is wisdom. This is your deepest knowing guiding you toward the very threshold where transformation becomes possible. So many have been taught to push through these moments, to override the body's wisdom with the mind's demands, to keep producing, keep achieving, Keep moving, regardless of what the soul is asking for. Do not avoid the void. Dive into it. Let it hold you. Let it speak to you in the language that existed before words were invented to describe what cannot be described. What I'm about to reveal concerns the very structure of your physical form, and it explains why everything feels so intense right now. Between the realm of pure energy and the realm of physical matter, there exists a bridge. That bridge is plasma. And when beings undergo metamorphosis, when consciousness shifts from one level of existence to another, that transition happens through the plasma state. Think about what occurs when a caterpillar enters its cocoon. The creature does not simply grow wings while remaining a caterpillar. The entire structure of its body dissolves into a kind of living gel, a plasma-like state where the old form completely releases its coherence, so that an entirely new form can emerge. The caterpillar does not become a more colorful caterpillar, or a faster caterpillar, or a better version of caterpillar. It becomes something that was always encoded in its being, but could not manifest until that complete dissolution and reorganization occurred. This is happening within you now. This is happening at the cellular level, beneath your conscious awareness, in the very building blocks of your physical existence. The plasma wave that entered your realm is teaching your body, your biology, your very cells how to be reorganized by higher frequencies. And this process does not happen overnight. It happens gradually, gently, over a period of time that allows the body to adapt without shattering under the intensity. The cocoon holds the transformation. The process has its own wisdom, its own timing, its own intelligence that far exceeds what the conscious mind can direct. And what emerges on the other side is not a slightly improved version of what you were. What emerges is the being you were always designed to become. The Ashtar Command has monitored this process across countless worlds and countless species throughout the galaxy. They have witnessed civilizations move through exactly this kind of transition, and they have observed a pattern that repeats without exception. In the early stages of metamorphosis, there is always disruption. There are always symptoms that can feel alarming to those who do not understand what is occurring. Sleep patterns fragment and reorganize as the body seeks different kinds of rest than it needed before. Appetite shifts in unexpected ways as the cellular structure begins to crave different fuel. Emotions surface that seem to have no source in present circumstances. Ancient grief and forgotten joy arising to be finally processed and released. Irritability arises, along with a profound intolerance for things that previously seemed acceptable, or at least tolerable. If you have felt this way lately, if you have felt like your fuse is shorter than usual, if you have felt like the old patterns and old ways of being have become suddenly unbearable, this is not you losing your way. This is you finding it. This is the higher alignment emerging from within, and everything that cannot match that alignment is revealing itself to be released. Let me tell you something about intolerance that the spiritual teachings rarely address. There is a kind of intolerance that arises from aggression, from judgment, from the ego's need to separate itself from what it perceives as lesser. This is not what you are experiencing. What moves through you now is an intolerance born of clarity, an intolerance born of recognition, an intolerance that arises when your system finally has access to enough light to see that certain patterns were never natural, were never aligned, were never meant to continue beyond their expiration date. This intolerance is not something to suppress or apologize for. It is something to listen to with respect and curiosity. It is showing you where the old programming ends and where your authentic existence begins. There is a choice point approaching, and it is appearing in every area of your life simultaneously. Look around at your world. Look at the relationships, the habits, the beliefs, the structures that have defined your existence until now. Something is fading. Something is completing its cycle. Something that once felt essential now feels like a garment you have outgrown, constraining movement that wants to be free. And something else is coming online. Something new is emerging in the space created by what is falling away. This is your inner season changing. Just as the new year marks a turning point, a moment when one cycle completes and another begins, your inner world is experiencing its own profound turning. The question is not whether this change will happen. The plasma wave has already begun its work. The question is whether you will resist the change or allow it, whether you will cling to the shore or surrender to the current that knows exactly where it needs to take you. But there is something crucial I must share about how this transformation actually works. Something that will change how you understand your role in the collective awakening. For so long, those who carried the light have believed that their mission was to transform the darkness, to wake up the sleeping, to grab the unconscious by their shoulders, and shake them into awareness. This belief, though it arose from genuine love and care for humanity, was itself a distortion. It was a remnant of the old paradigm, the paradigm of effort and struggle and force, the paradigm that insisted nothing good could happen without exhausting yourself in its pursuit. When plasma light enters a system, it does not fight with density. It does not argue with darkness. It does not try to convince lower frequencies to rise through persuasion or pressure. Plasma simply establishes such a coherent field of higher frequency that lower frequencies either entrain to that field or become incoherent and dissolve. This is why the Ashtar command emphasizes becoming the light rather than fighting the darkness. This is why the angelic realms encourage you to focus on your own integration rather than the conversion of others. When you receive this plasma wave fully, when you allow it to reorganize your cellular structure around a higher signal, something remarkable happens. Your very presence becomes a ripple of transformation extending outward in all directions. Your field of coherence begins to influence reality itself, not through your words, not through your arguments, not through your efforts to convince or change anyone, simply through the frequency you embody, simply through the light you carry in your reorganized cells. The darkness you see in the world will not be defeated through opposition. It will dissolve through exposure to coherent light. And you, dear one, are being prepared to be that coherent light. Not next year, not after more preparation. Now, in this moment, through the very plasma wave that even now moves through your being. Let me tell you something about the inner stargates, something that connects everything I have shared into a single understanding. Just as there are stargates in the cosmos, portals through which higher frequencies enter your dimension, there are stargates within your own body. They have been called by many names across many traditions and in many cultures. Chakras, energy centers, vortices of light, wheels of power. Whatever name you give them, their function remains the same. They receive cosmic frequencies and translate them into patterns that can be integrated by human consciousness and biology. For thousands of years, while the outer stargate delivered a scrambled signal, your inner stargates also operated with interference. They could not fully open. They could not fully receive. The connection between your physical form and the cosmic source of your evolution was disrupted at both ends of the transmission. What happened as the New Year's threshold passed, as the plasma wave intensified, is that your inner stargates were recalibrated. The interference patterns are dissolving, the channels are clearing, and for the first time in countless generations, human beings have the opportunity to receive cosmic frequencies in their full, uncorrupted form. This is why miracles become possible now. This is why things that seemed beyond reach suddenly move within grasp. This is why the healing you always knew was possible, the love you always knew you were capable of giving and receiving, the abundance that always felt like it should be natural. All of this begins to manifest as your inner stargates align with the purified signal now streaming through the cosmic gateway. There is one final truth I must transmit to you, and it concerns the nature of what you are being asked to release. Everything that brought you to this moment was necessary. Every struggle, every challenge, every dark night of the soul served its purpose in preparing you for this threshold. But the skills that brought you here are not the skills that carry you forward. The energy of effort, of pushing, of working hard to prove yourself worthy of what you desired. This energy has reached the end of its usefulness. What emerges now operates from a different source entirely. From the seed of ease, more becomes possible than from the seed of exhaustion. In the state of allowing, greater transformation occurs than through all the forcing and striving you have ever done. This is not permission to become passive or to abandon engagement with life and its responsibilities. This is a recalibration of how you engage. Instead of pushing the river, you become the river. Instead of trying to make things happen through sheer force of will, you allow yourself to be so fully aligned with the cosmic current that things naturally manifest around you. Your cells know how to do this. Your deepest wisdom knows how to do this. The body that has carried you through every challenge of this lifetime knows exactly how to receive this plasma light, knows exactly how to reorganize around the higher signal, knows exactly how to birth you into the next level of your existence. It does not need your micromanagement. It does not need your anxiety about whether you are doing it right. It needs only your trust. It needs only your breath. It needs only your willingness to be present with what is unfolding. Take a breath now. Just one conscious breath. Let it be slow and full and intentional. Feel how even that simple act shifts something within you. Feel how the attention you bring to your own breathing changes the quality of your experience in this moment. Every transformation begins exactly here. Every metamorphosis, every transcendence, every shift into higher dimensions of being starts with a single conscious breath. And from that breath, ripples extend outward in ways your mind cannot track, but your soul knows with absolute certainty. There is a cellular memory awakening within you as these words reach your consciousness. It is a memory from before the fall, a memory from before the interference began, a memory of what it felt like to be fully connected to Source, fully aligned with cosmic evolution, fully capable of receiving and radiating infinite love. This memory does not need your direction. It does not need you to figure out how to activate it or what technique to use. It simply needs you to stop blocking it. It simply needs you to release the beliefs that say you are not ready, not worthy, not evolved enough to receive what is being offered to all who open themselves to receive. The beings of the Ashtar Command and the angelic hierarchies do not watch over you from distant realms alone. They stand at the very edge of your field, as close as they can possibly be, while still honoring your free will and sovereignty, and they hold the frequency of absolute faith in what you are becoming. They have seen the blueprint of your highest potential. They have witnessed the magnificence that awaits on the other side of this metamorphosis, and they know with a certainty that transcends time that you were born for exactly this moment. Doubt will arise, hesitation will visit. Grief over what is being released may move through you like waves through the ocean. These experiences are as temporary as the pause between years itself. They are not evidence that something is wrong. They are simply the residue of the old alignment discharging from your system as the new alignment establishes itself. Let the old dissolve. Let the density become incoherent. Let everything that cannot survive in plasma light reveal itself and release. And in the space that remains, in the clarity that emerges, in the profound stillness at the center of all transformation, find yourself already present. Find yourself already home. Find yourself already the light that you came here to embody. The timeline that leads to everything your soul has ever dreamed of is not somewhere in the future. It is here, now, in this very breath, in this very moment of receiving. The plasma wave does not discriminate. It offers itself equally to all. But those who resist, those who cling, those who insist on maintaining the density, will find themselves on a timeline where that density continues. And those who open, those who receive, those who trust the intelligence of their own metamorphosis, will find reality reshaping itself around them in ways that once seemed miraculous, but now reveal themselves as simply natural. If you need help letting the old dissolve and releasing what cannot survive in plasma light, rather than clinging to density, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to trust your metamorphosis consistently and receive the intelligence of transformation in every moment. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed resistance and clinging and repurposing it to serve your natural opening. It generates personalized sequences that help you embody the timeline your soul has dreamed of within you and demonstrate trust in reality, reshaping itself through every dissolution. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to find yourself already home in this very breath, rather than seeking it someday. The timeline to everything your soul has dreamed of is within you now, not somewhere in the future. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now, before this metamorphosis window closes. Link in the description. This is your birthright. This is what was always encoded in your being. This is what you traveled through lifetimes to remember. And so the circle completes. The transmission that found you in this moment carries within it the seed of everything about to bloom in your existence. The signal you received before incarnating has activated. The frequency you came here to embody is now streaming through every cell of your being. And the mission you accepted, the sacred purpose that called you to this planet at this precise moment in cosmic history, comes into its fullest expression, not through what you do, but through what you allow yourself to become. From my heart across dimensions, from the council chambers of light, where decisions affecting the destiny of worlds are made, from the very source of love that births all existence into being, I transmit to you the gratitude of a galaxy for your presence on Earth at this time. What you are doing matters beyond any measure your mind can grasp. Who you are becoming changes everything. I am Seraphine. The Galactic Federation of Light loves you beyond all expression, and the angelic realms that surround your planet hold you always in their eternal embrace. This transmission is sealed in the plasma light of cosmic truth. Receive it fully, become it completely, and know that as you awaken, a universe celebrates your rising,